today I have a big project in mind. I'm gonna make some gluten-free frozen pizzas that I can just pop in the oven whenever I want for lunch. I'm gonna try to get a dozen pizzas. I don't know if I will, because I'm gonna also make a great big one for tomorrow night because we have an activity tomorrow and I want to be able to come home and pop it in the oven and dinner will be ready for us. We don't have to cook or anything. So I'm gonna make a few supreme. I'm gonna make a few bacon and onion, and then I'm gonna make just a few pepperoni. So the supreme is not gonna be a complete supreme. It's gonna have pepperoni, sausage, peppers, and onions. So I might put some mushrooms on, but I'm not gonna do black olives or anything like that. It's gonna be pretty simple. A little bit about the pizza crust. I use a pizza crust mix that I get from Authentic Foods. It's the best gluten-free pizza crust that I've been able to make since I went gluten-free years ago. And I've stuck to it. So I'm gonna be rolling out, I mixed up my crust yesterday. I'm gonna be taking care of that today. It looks good. It looks like it rose a little. So I'm happy about that. I'm gonna cook all the toppings and everything and put them all together, and then we'll go from there. First things first, I'm gonna get my sausage cooking. I'm trying to decide what skillet to use. Yeah, I'm just gonna use the 10-inch. I'm gonna go ahead and heat this up. I'm actually really excited to do this. I've been wanting to do it for a while. My kids really like the little Totino's pizzas. And I mean, I remember they are pretty tasty. I don't know if it saves us any money, but it's definitely a lot healthier if I can make our own, especially if I can figure out how to make really good mozzarella. Today I'm gonna be using Manchego cheese. It actually makes decent pizza. I've been using it for a while because I have to stick to A2 cheese, and it's actually sheep cheese. And it tastes delicious. I get it at Costco or Aldi, and it makes decent pizza. It's fairly similar to mozzarella in texture on the pizza. I'm just gonna crumble this sausage as I cook it. I do have mushrooms up in the freezer, but I don't think I'm gonna worry about that this time. But I'm going to use some of the bell peppers that I cut up and froze this summer. And then I'm also gonna use some of the onions that Jacob grew. He grew the bell peppers and the onions, so I'm gonna use some of them. Red onion would be really good too, but I don't have any, so I'm just gonna use these. Starting to use my handy tool. I don't remember where we got, I think we just got it at Walmart or Target or something. I know Pampered Chef makes one, but it's pretty handy when you're trying to break up big clumps of meat. Okay, I just cut myself. Not cool. At least it's not bleeding too much. I'm just gonna quarter my onion, and then I'm gonna use my chopper to chop it. I'm gonna put it in a bowl for right now. That is some spicy onion. Some of these peppers I might just save because I don't really think I'm gonna need all of these. And I'm gonna use my chopper again. This is the cheese I was talking about. I think it's called Manchego. That's what I call it. It's made out of sheep's milk. And sheep's milk is naturally A2. So it really does agree with me better than regular cheese. This is another brand that I got at Mama Jean's. It's the same kind of cheese, but I don't care for it as much because it has kind of a goaty flavor. But I thought mixing it in on the pizza, I might not notice it as bad as when I'm eating it sliced. So if I need extra, I'm gonna use this and use it up instead of wasting it. All right, so the only thing about this cheese is I cut off this outer wax coating. And now I can shred it. I think this sausage is done, so I'm gonna go ahead and just put it in this bowl. Okay. The sausage, I'll let that grease drain down and then it'll be ready to use. Now some bacon. Have an idea for the sauce. I'm not gonna worry about heating it up because it's gonna heat up on the pizza, but I do like to add just a smidge of brown sugar to my pizza sauce, so I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna put my tomato sauce in here so I can just pour it on the crust. I'm gonna put a smidge of brown sugar in, and then I'll stir it up. I'm gonna taste this sauce and see if I think it's good. Oh yeah, that is delicious. All right, next up, I'm going to cook some of my onions that are gonna be for the bacon pizzas. I'm only gonna do part of them because I want them just for the bacon and onion pieces. Now I'm just gonna cook this onion until it softens. So probably 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Put the onions in here. I also want to crunch up this bacon into bacon bits or bacon pieces. So I've got my oven heating up. My plan here is to make my crusts and then put them in the oven and just partially bake them. And then I'll put all the toppings on, planning on having them in between pieces of parchment paper, and they'll slide into a freezer bag. Probably 3 or 4 to a bag is what I'll get, and then I will freeze them. Right now I'm gonna do this big one. Now, if you know anything about gluten-free crust, you know that you cannot roll it out. I mean, you can, and I do for sugar cookies, but it's a hot mess sometimes, especially with pizza. It's just a hot mess. So what I do is I just press it into the pan. All right, I've got my crust. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop this in the oven and bake it. I just want it to be partially baked so that tomorrow night when we go to heat up the pizza, it'll just finish cooking the crust and it'll cook all the toppings without browning that cheese. ahead and cut my parchment paper pieces. All right, that crust is mostly done. It's still a little soft, which is right where I want it. I'm gonna start with the sauce. I'm gonna start with some peppers and onions. I'm gonna do some sausage. I'm gonna do a little bit of bacon on this one. Then I'm gonna put my cheese. Now you can be as generous or as skimpy as you want with this. Totally up to you. I think I'm gonna stick with that. And then I'm gonna put my pepperoni slices on top. There is dinner tomorrow night, yay. I'm gonna let it cool just a little before I put plastic wrap on it. Then I will put it in the fridge. That way it's ready for tomorrow. I'm gonna try something here with this pizza crust. I have a tortilla press. And I'm gonna try pressing the pizza crust between parchment paper in that press and see how it works. It may be too thin, I don't know. If I put enough crust, I figure I might get the right. Anyway, I'm gonna try it because it would be a lot quicker and easier. I have never used this yet. Today will be a first. Parchment paper. Okay. I know I want about an 8-inch pizza crust. So I'm gonna form it into a ball. Put another piece of parchment on top. Now I'm supposed to put it a little closer to that side. All right, here we go. I'm nervous. Oh. Oh, wow. I think it worked quite well. I think I'll go down just a little bit more. Now I can use this handle. I don't think I can get it down that low. And I don't think I want to either. Okay. Awesome. All right, this works great. Okay. Oh, I'm excited about this. Another ball of dough. I think I might be able to get 8 to 10 pizzas on top of the baked pizza. So that's awesome. For reference, if you do use this pizza crust, I multiplied the recipe by 6. So to get this many pizzas. Now my big pizza crust, I had to cook for about 12 minutes. So I'm gonna pop these in the oven for 10 minutes, see how they do. I might start with 8 minutes. All right. Alrighty. I let them go for 8 minutes. They're not quite done. They're really not close to done yet. So I'm gonna let them go another 4 minutes like I did the baked crust, and we'll see how they are. I discovered, I think it's better to make them a little bit thinner because they really puffed up in the oven. So I'm just gonna press these down a little bit. Here we go. I'm just gonna switch out. I need another pot holder. As you can see, they are pretty puffy. So it'd just be a slightly thicker crust, and that's okay. That's okay. And then let's throw these in. Alright, so I'm gonna put these pizzas up here, and then I'm just gonna add the toppings that I want. Alright, I'm gonna start with some sauce, which they're a little lopsided, so I'm afraid the sauce is just gonna go rolling off, but we'll do the best we can. This is my first time making freezer pizzas, so bear with me. I think I will make these 3 supreme. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a bit of peppers. And then I'm gonna do some sausage. And then I'm gonna do just a tiny bit of bacon. Now we're gonna do some cheese. And then some pepperoni. All right. I'm gonna pack these up. Put, maybe I roll this up and wrap it. That works better. And then what I'll do, well, be careful because these are hot too. So just be careful. Don't get burnt trying to do this. No, I think I might be able to get 2 on there. I'm gonna try. I think I'm making a huge mess here, but as I do this more, I'll get used to it and I'll get a better system. Being my first time, it's kind of a hot mess. Oh my gosh, I got sauce going out. Okay, let's try this. I got 2 in there. Awesome. I'm gonna put 10, 23, and supreme pizza. There we go. And there's the others. Just in time. All right, there's the supreme pizza. Get these out of here. Yeah, they're good. bacon and onion. A little bit of sauce on this one. Now I'm going to take some of this onion and I'm just going to sprinkle it on. And then the bacon. And then we're going to put some cheese on. Okay, 2 bacon and onion. All right, I think I'm gonna do the rest just pepperoni. I could do sausage too. I think I'll save that sausage for the guys. So I ended up with 4 Supremes, 4 pepperonis, and 2 bacon and onion pizzas. So 10 pizzas altogether, plus a great big pizza. So I think if I could have made the crust a little bit thinner, I could have got at least a dozen pizzas. And if you want a thin crust, you could probably get even more than that, 14 to 16 pizzas. So, yay! Now I'm trying to fit these into my mess of a freezer. I'm gonna put a few in here and then a few in the other. We made the trek to the aquarium for some festive Halloween fun. We saw lots of fish, visited the stingrays, one of Zeke's favorite parts of the aquarium, and then we colored our own sea life to add on the big screen. A fun day, but man, was I glad we had pizza ready to throw in the oven and bake for dinner, because we were all tuckered out.